We're going to be catching up with Michael Haynes. He was selected in the first round. He was the 5th overall pick out of Arizona State by the New England Patriots. And the Hall of Famer back in 1997 on Hall of Fame weekend, the Hall of Fame game tonight. And the Hall of Famer joins us now on the Boardwalk Honda hotline here on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN. Welcome back to the show, Michael. It's great to catch up with you again.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's this is. I mean, football season's about to start. That's when the fun and the energy comes back into Mike Haynes.
Yeah, man. And I know last time we caught up with you was at the Super Bowl, and our Eagles were there winning the Super Bowl, and now here they are back again. You had won a Super Bowl, and I always like to talk about what it's like that next season after being a Super Bowl champion and getting back out on the training camp field and being there as a Super Bowl champion. It's got to have a different feel, training camp, as a champion.
Oh, yeah. It's a different feeling in training camp, and it's also a different feeling when you play teams that you played all the time. Now you're defending Super Bowl champion, and now they have a chance to knock off the defending Super Bowl champion. So they kind of get up. Before they might have just been thinking about their assignments and things like that, but they go, hey, shoot, we're going up against the defending Super Bowl champion. So they bring their A game against those guys. They'll see it this year. Fans will see all the teams that they normally play. Those teams are going to be really up for the Eagles this year.
Michael, the Eagles have an interesting situation going on now. You played corner in the league. I'm interested to get your take on this because they've got Sidney Jones coming back from injury. They've got Jalen Mills, who was a Super Bowl starter. They've got Ronald Darby, who was a Super Bowl starter. How do you fit three of these guys on the field? With the nickel spot, somebody was saying, how do you put Sidney Jones, who might be your most talented guy, in the nickel spot? If you're playing corner, do you want to be the guy that's playing on the inside, or are the better guys still out on the outside?
Oh gosh, that's a tough question. Especially when I get to choose. I'd want to be the every down player. I got a question by maybe about 2 hours ago by a reporter. He was basically asking me something similar. Like, one guy is really an excellent cover guy, and the other guy is a better at both ways. He can play pass, he can play run, but the other guy is mainly an expert, super high-level cover guy. And I'd say, well, shoot, if I had a super high-level cover guy but not a good tackler and I hated to come up on the run, I'd put that guy on the third wide receiver or whatever, or the other team's best wide receiver. It doesn't matter if he's inside or outside, and call a defense where the other guys can do their normal thing. So I think that's a good situation to be in. So is this a situation where almost we could say there's 3 first-rounders playing
right,
that are cover guys or whatever, and only 2 of them are going to play, and what's going to happen? Well, I say that's a good situation for the team to be in if they can keep them all.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of jockeying going around. The other day, Sidney Jones was playing the nickel. Today it was Jalen Mills. They've been kind of rotating them. And, look, they're very deep at that spot. I want to ask you also, Brian Dawkins is going into the Hall of Fame as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. He won a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. Now, he was a safety, but, man, he was a heck of a hitter. But he had come out the other day, and I know, Michael, you do a lot with prostate cancer, and you have some facts on that as well. But he had come out the other day and really talked about depression and that he wanted, he had some suicidal thoughts. And we hear that all the time, but to hear it from a guy like Dawkins, it really shows that, guys like yourself who speak on prostate cancer and him about depression, that, sometimes we always look at you guys as immortal or different, on a different level than us, but it's great to hear that you guys also have messages that can help all of our listeners and the fans of you guys, Hall of Famers.
Well, it makes a huge difference, in terms of raising awareness. And, someone like Brian, he was such a great football player. Everybody loves the guy. And if that's where he's going to focus his attention because he has, he can relate to the experience, that makes a lot of sense to me. Like that's, as you're saying, with me with prostate cancer, I know how important it is for men to know in the early stages of the disease that they have it, because that's when it's easily treatable. If you wait until you have symptoms, it's a different kind of fight. So that motivates me to get out and talk to guys as much as I possibly can so that we can make sure that we're doing that. And so for him, if he's experienced the depression and he knows, gosh, how many times have we heard about NFL players that have taken their lives and different things, and no one knew about it. No one understood what was going on. No one recognized the symptoms. And so now you have Brian, who I assume is going to be sharing his life and his experiences to help other people, help those people who are experiencing what he had, and maybe save lives too. So yeah, it's an awesome that guys want to do it and they have a connection to it, and it's a real important issue for them, especially if it's a guy like Brian who, as you know, when he focuses in on something, he gets the job done. So that's awesome to hear that. It's horrible, obviously, hearing that he has depression and everything, but the fact that he knows it now and he's willing to deal with it and help other people deal with it is real good news for everybody.
Hall of Famer Mike Haynes with us. And Mike, in honor of it was at Canton and at the Hall of Fame where you had the screening that really changed your life. So in honor of the 10th anniversary of that Know Your Stats campaign, maybe give us some things we need to know about prostate awareness.
Well, the most important thing you need to know is that it runs in families. And so if it runs in family, there's a 1 in 5 chance that it's going to, hit that guy in his family. If you're African American, it's 1 in 6. 1 in 6 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. But just for a man, an American man, general population, it's 1 in 9. But that's a lot of men. That's a lot of men are going to get this disease. And so our message, our campaign is really about helping men understand that it's easy to deal with if you are looking for it and have these conversations with your doctors early on. So if it runs in your family, you need to talk to your doctor in your 40s. If it doesn't run in your family, you can wait until your mid-50s. But the most important thing is you need to know, what is your risk? What is your risk level? What is the risk of you getting prostate cancer? And that'll help you stay in the game if you're doing the right things.
KnowYourStats.org. Hall of Famer Michael Haynes, always kind enough to join us. It's Hall of Fame game tonight on 97.3 ESPN. Hall of Fame weekend. All the yellow jackets, the gold jackets, I should say, will be in Canton, and our guest, Michael Haynes, will be one of them. He has been enshrined in Canton as one of the greatest to ever play the game. Are you a Raider or a Patriot? Which one?
It depends on where I am when you ask me.
All right. Well, the Eagles had lost to the Raiders in the Super Bowl. They lost to the Patriots once, and then they beat the Patriots. So I guess you're free saying Patriots in the Philly market. Michael, we always appreciate a couple minutes. Thanks so much, pal.
All right. Thank you, man.